Welcome to A Double
and
Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage,
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 75 of A Double and Dice, 25 away from 100.
Kim does math.
I can do math. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Anyways, so today on our episode, we're doing something interesting because on Jocelyn's birthday,
My birthday.
which was December 5th,
Look at that. You
I
remembered
posted
everything.
Yeah, I know. I posted in the Discord, happy birthday to my partner in crime. So Jocelyn responded to me as, do you remember what you said to me?
I said I didn't realize our podcast was a crime.
Yeah,
I said that in a private message. I did not say it publicly.
that's right. So then, which triggered our episode for today.
That's right.
Yep. So we're kind of doing a partner in air quotes crime, but crime is a good thing in this case.
Absolutely. As our partners.
Right. So looking through, trying to find, of course, we always focus on female characters in Dice Masters. So I found one low-key duo or partners in crime. You know, I'm putting up the air quotes.
Yeah. I can hear it. I can hear it in your
You
voice.
hear my air quote? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Is Loki and female Loki?
no.
Oh, you said Loki.
Oh, why did I say low-key? I don't even know where I was going with that.
You said it was a low-key partner, a low-key group.
They're like, sorry, not low-key. Not low-key like the character, or low-key.
I knew what you meant. I was just being silly.
I mean, low-key, as in, you know, they're not very
Prominent.
famous. Yeah, I don't know what you want.
They're under the
around.
radar.
Yeah, under the radar.
Yeah.
So that Partners in Crime we're referring to is Huntress and Power Girl.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun. Which I knew of Huntress. I couldn't remember Power Girl, to be honest with you. So I didn't remember she even existed. So we're going to go through a quick background story about those two and how they met. And then we'll get into their cards. What do you say?
Okay.
All right.
So was their meet cute similar to ours, Kim?
What do you mean?
Like, did they meet because they wanted to learn how to play Dice Masters together?
Exactly.
That's it. Story's done.
Sorry, done. All right. So to their cards. So they have. You didn't know they played Dice Masters? It was
No, I had no idea.
All right. So Huntress, named Helena Wayne. Wayne, you say? Because she. Oh, by the way, before we get into this, I'm going to let you know this is taken from the New 52 Incarnation is what they call it. It's New 52, but when I was reading some more, somebody said Incarnation. So,
Well, yeah, because DC had the New 52, right? Like, they blew
Yes.
up all of their continuity, as they do all the time, which is why researching female characters in Dice Masters for DC is very challenging.
yes.
And they did the New 52, and then apparently that's all been blown up since then.
Yeah, it's.
And there's a new version of it, but this is the version that we're talking about today, right?
Yes. Yep. So Huntress, Helena Wayne, as we may know,
Like Bruce Wayne?
is Bruce Wayne. So Helena Wayne was the daughter of Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle, aka
Catwoman.
and all of them are from Earth 2. Okay,
All right.
so Helena was actually Robin.
Oh.
Okay, in this story that we're going to be telling today. Okay, now we go to Power Girl. Power Girl is named Kara Zor-El, cousin of
Superman.
Yeah, again, all from Earth 2. But she started off as Supergirl.
So what do you mean by started off as?
So they started as. So their superhero first was Supergirl and Robin.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll get into how they became Power Girl and Huntress.
All right. Okay.
All
I
right.
understand.
Story time. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So this was actually information I'm usually, we get it from the decent fandom or whatnot. I couldn't find nothing about these two together. So this actually information is coming from a video that I saw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And he told a pretty good story, so hopefully I can kind of tell the story as well.
Are we going to link the video in the show notes, Kim?
Sure, yeah. If I still, I think I still, yeah, I have it. We have it still. All right, so Helena, aka Robin, at this point. So she was been training with her father, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. Spoiler. She didn't know.
She didn't know her
God.
dad?
No, she didn't. She knew who dad. I'm telling other people who didn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, spoiler. He's Batman. So during training, so this is in the Batcave, an alarm went off. Okay, so the alarms go off in the Batcave, and respond. Yep. So Lena, put on her Robin suit.
Helena.
And Helena, yeah. I guess her short form. See, I kept calling her Elena. So if I say Elena, so it's the same person. Okay.
Okay.
So she puts on her Robin suit. She goes and ends up following the alarm and ends up at a burning building, where she finds Batman and with Catwoman, so her mom. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Catwoman had died.
Aww.
Yeah, from weapons that Batman and her had never seen before when they were trying to stop some trafficking ring going on in this building.
Oh,
Okay.
like crazy unforeseen weapons.
Yeah. So Helena blamed herself for not getting there obviously fast enough to help save her mom. So with rage and anger and all that stuff, she charged back into the burning building to find these hoodlums, I guess. I don't know what you want to call them. And Batman was kind of telling her, no, don't go in there, but he couldn't really stop her because he had a broken leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does Batman do with all his techie equipment? He calls on the Justice League.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And while Helena was fighting these guys, who happens to, well, she was being attacked by these weapons and all that stuff. Who happens to break through and come save her? Supergirl.
Nice.
So she comes through, heard the call from Batman, answered the call, came, rescued Helena, and pretty much kind of flew away. Okay, so she picks her up and they carries her off, and off they went. So after they were talking a bit, they decided she wants revenge on her mom, so both of them charged right back into that building to handle these thugs. And they there was a ringleader, I guess the leader of these thugs or these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fighting and they got up to him, but he happened to get away using a teleportation device.
Well, that's very convenient.
I know, right? So he gets away. Okay, so the bad guys, go away, and Kara and Helena are there, and Kara's kind of, hugging Helena and apologizing that her mom passed away and sorry for her loss, and eventually these two kind of stuck it out and became best friends.
Aw, like you and me.
Yeah. So,
because that's exactly how you and I met. I ran into a burning building, and you came and rescued me.
Called a game store.
The building was not burning.
No, it wasn't. Yes, I came to rescue you, or you came to rescue me. Okay, so now, time has passed, right? They battle together, and one intense battle that they were in together was a battle against Darkseid.
Yep.
Okay.
As you do.
Yeah.
Darkseid's bad guy. You got to battle him.
They were both the same people. So Helena was Robin, and then Kara was Supergirl, and they were fighting. So while they were doing this fight against Darkseid, they thought they saw someone by the name of Steppenwolf.
Okay.
Which is a Darkseid follower. I'm not sure how big he is in the comic books. I think I've heard the name before, but
I think it's also the name of a band.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Steppenwolf. So he's a Darkseid follower. Again, he's probably getting beat up, and what do they see? He travels through something called a boom tube.
Nice.
Which is a teleportation device.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, of course. These bad guys always get away. So, seeing this, they kind of went over towards the boom tube, so where the teleportation device was. And what happens? There was an explosion, which uh, a, caused like reality to warp and shift. And then all of a sudden, Kara and Helena ended up in the ocean.
Oh.
When they awoke on the beach, of course.
Well, I'm glad they were on the beach and not floating in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess they got washed off, right? Up on the beach. Well, you see in every movie.
Yes.
Or every comic book. Every show. There was a newspaper there. So when they looked at the newspaper, there was a picture of a very young-looking Superman. To which they realized that they weren't on Earth 2 anymore.
They're not in Kansas anymore, Kim?
They're not at home anymore, nope. In this reality, so as they kind of like go around, I guess, looking around the city or where they were, they found that there was a Batman here. There was already a Robin. Batman had a son. There was also a Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there was a Superman.
Right.
And I think from my research, this Earth they're on was called Prime Earth.
Oh, so we've made it to Prime Earth from Earth 2.
Yeah. So again, anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I blame the research. But please correct me if I am wrong. So in this Prime Earth, so what happened was Helena, then since knowing there was already a Robin, she didn't want to be Robin again. So this is where she became Huntress. Okay.
Ooh.
And she stayed under the radar, I guess, fighting crime, doing whatnot, and using Bruce Wayne's funding to help herself out. So she kind of knew all the logins for Bruce Wayne's company, Wayne Enterprises.
So are you saying that Bruce Wayne on Prime Earth used the same passwords as Bruce Wayne on Earth 2?
Supposedly.
Bruce Wayne, with all of his fortune, is not smart enough to have like at least two-factor authentication?
I know. So she knew all the logins, kind of logged in, kind of helped herself for some money because, he has lots of it.
He'd probably not even notice.
We didn't notice. So she was using that to help fund. And then obviously since there was a Supergirl on this Earth, this is where Kara became Power Girl.
Oh.
Okay. And she used her super intellect to start her own company. And it made like a fortune. Like it doesn't say what the company was. I could have missed it, but I didn't look into it. But it was very successful.
Nice.
Okay. So they stayed on that Earth for a while. I don't know how long. Eventually, they did find their way back home to Earth 2, which I think comes about in the World's Finest storyline.
Okay.
Okay. So if anybody ever wants to, again, let me know if that's right. And then that's something they can, look or read up on how they return back.
Let's put it this way, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Whether this is right or whether this is not right, it is a new interpretation of these comic stories.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
DC has so many of these that no one's even going to notice.
Probably not. So, yeah.
Let's go enter this in the wiki right now.
So this is how they, this is how they met. And they became friends, and they stayed friends, and then they went to a different Earth together, and then this is how they become Huntress and Power Girl. Continued their fighting, crime, quotes.
So what this is telling me, Kim, is that you need to come to Memphis next year.
And it will have like partners in crime shirts with quotes.
Yes. Because we need to fight for the Dice Masters World Championship together.
Yeah. Yep.
Just like Helena and Kara.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's their how they met. And I'm sure you can read up on stories on them. And
Steppenwolf is a band.
It is a band.
Yes. It is an American-Canadian rock band that was prominent from 1968 to 1972. Psychedelic rock.
Yeah, it seemed like a rock kind of band.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. So nice and sweet.
And then there's also like, I just typed in Steppenwolf, right, in Google. Mm-hmm. People always also ask, who was Steppenwolf in mythology? Is Steppenwolf stronger than Superman? So, anyway.
So random.
Well, I guess not, because it's part of the thing. Is Steppenwolf related to Wonder Woman? Is Steppenwolf immortal, and why did Steppenwolf betray Darkseid? So
there you go.
So
those are the things people ask. Stories from stories. So
those are the things people ask about Steppenwolf. So there you go.
So if anybody can actually tell me how they returned back to Earth too, that would be great, because I tried to find some research. I couldn't find it.
They probably took a boom tube thing.
They probably found one on their Earth or something, and with all the $1 million of money they have from Bruce, I'm sure they were able to find something. So.
Absolutely.
So shall we take a look at their cards?
Absolutely. Who do we want to start with?
Let's start with Huntress, I guess.
Excellent. Alphabetical. So Huntress has appeared in 2 Dice Master sets, and she has 6 cards in total. She is in the Batman set, and she is the Green Arrow and the Flash set. So let's go to the way back and start with the Green Arrow and the Flash set. She's a common, uncommon, and rare. She is a Bolt character, and her common is called The Hunt Begins. 3-cost Bolt, villain affiliation on this one. And her stats are 022 133 143, and that is consistent with her Batman die as well. So the common says, while Huntress is active, whenever you roll a question mark, you may spin each Huntress die up a level for each question mark rolled. So that's kind of cool. Spin something up.
Neat.
Yeah. Do you want to do the next one, Kim?
Sure. Her uncommon, Brutal Justice. This is a 4-cost Bolt, Batman affiliated. When fielded, you may reroll any of your psychic dice in the field zone or reserve pool. Interesting.
That is very interesting. I wonder if that is affected in any way by the new die status rules.
You may reroll
or if this would be
your psychic dice in the field zone
or reserve pool. It doesn't say character dice, it just says sidekick dice.
Yeah.
So
but it's or, so it's field zone or, so it's not both. Right?
You may re-roll any of your psychic dice in the field zone or reserve pool. So are you saying that you couldn't do like one from each? You'd have to choose one of those places?
I assume so. It says or.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at some wordings that say about like re-rolling stuff.
Let's just move on to the rare.
Yep.
Which is Sins of the Father. Do we know why there's Sins of the Father?
Well, we know who her father was.
That's true. Batman's got lots of sins.
Earth 2, yep.
4-cost Bolt, Batman affiliation. While Huntress is active, the first time you roll dice during your roll and roll step, if you rolled no question marks, you may draw and roll a die. So that's interesting. It seems like it interrupts the roll and reroll step, right?
Yeah.
The first time you roll your dice, you may draw and roll a die. So that's interesting. I've never played with that one.
Yeah, I've actually never played with any of these.
No? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to get to the next one, which is my favorite.
I know. You have a Huntress card that you used to use a lot.
I do. I have a Huntress card that I used to use a lot, and that is in the Batman set, and it's Huntress, No Rest for the Wicked. She's the common 3-cost Bolt. She's a villain affiliation, and she says, when fielded, deal damage equal to Huntress's A to target character die. And I love this card because it was a simple removal. It's not a may, it's a must, which means if she's the only die that you field, then she's got to do it to herself, right? But you can do it to your opponent's dice. You can do it to your own dice. You just have to do it. You just have to just do that damage. Huntress is doing that damage. So really, really good when fielded, easy removal. Very repeatable because her fielding costs are 0, 1, 1. So definitely a really effective die. I heard it.
Yeah, I've used that one before. It's pretty good. Her uncommon is Family Ties. 4-cost, while Huntress is active, whenever an opposing character die is fielded, deal 1 damage to target opposing character die.
Also a good card.
Yep. Take off their psychics. Ping, ping, ping.
Yep. And then finally her rare, which is Cry for Blood. And that's a flip card. And I also really like this card. So The 3-cost bolt on the one side, she's a Batman family, and it says Huntress cannot be blocked by sidekicks. And on the other side, it says Huntress cannot be blocked by sidekicks.
So I guess if you're playing affiliations, she could be on the side you need her to be.
I think there's a mistake here.
Are you sure? How fast can you pull her cart?
No, I'm looking at the picture, and the picture does say that. But for some reason, I thought one side was that she couldn't be blocked by non-sidekick character dice. But no, the picture looks clear. So one side, so I guess the difference is that she's Batman family or villain family, depending on what you need. Yeah. Right? Yep. So she can't be blocked by sidekicks. So if you only have sidekicks, she can't be blocked, which is handy, which makes her essentially unblockable. And she's either Batman family or villain family, depending on what you need.
All her 3 here are actually really good in the Batman.
They are all really good in that set, and it was really hard to choose which one to play. It's one of those ones that are like, how do you pick, right? But I would always default to the common. I would always default to the No Rest for the Wicked, because that when fielded damage was so easy, right? It was so effective. It was an effective 3-cost. It's my favorite. Probably it's my favorite of all 6. Although the uncommon Family Ties is good too.
Yeah, that one's good too. She could ping off sidekicks. Seems like she's very related to sidekicks in this in her cards.
I feel like she basically is a sidekick.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. True. Robin was a sidekick, right? So kind of same thing. Well, I guess with her being Huntress with Power Girl, they're kind of like a duo, right? So I mean, just like each other. I don't know.
Yeah. So should we move on to Power Girl, Kim?
Power Girl, which does exist in Dice Masters.
That's right. Do you want to do the first one?
Sure. So Power Girl is existed in 2 sets, World's Finest and Harley Quinn. Which is, yes, I think there was some ties with Harley Quinn in her story. So for World's Finest, she is a stats-wise 144, 155, 266, and that's across the board between both sets. They're all common cards.
Yeah, that was so weird back in the day.
Yeah, because they came from the little 2-packs, right? So I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, so, this would have come from
World's Finest. There would have been a starter card.
Yeah, the starter card. Yeah.
There would have been starter cards that were common.
Set. Yeah.
Right, and then there were different rarities in the booster packs, but sometimes you ended up with multiple. Like in this particular case, you've got 4 different cards, but they're all common.
Yeah. So she didn't have an uncommon or a
rare or super rare, which is really weird.
Yeah. So her first common is called High Flying. 5-cost bolt. She's bolt across the board. All actually Superman affiliated across both sets. While you have an active Superman character besides Power Girl and
Superman
Power Girl
affiliated
character besides Power Girl, and Power Girl is active, Power Girl can't be blocked. Power Girl can't be blocked by only 1 character die.
That is very wordy.
Yes, meaning she can only be blocked by more than 1 character die. It has to be 2 or more.
So if you have Power Girl plus another active Superman family character, Power Girl can't be blocked by just a single character die.
Correct.
Yeah. There's definitely better ways that they say that now. The wording has gotten smoother.
Yes.
Okay. Her second common is the Electromagnetic Spectrum Vision, which is a 6-cost bolt. And it says, while you have an active Superman family character die besides Power Girl and Power Girl is active, draw an extra die during your clear and draw step.
Seems expensive to do that.
Sure does.
Moving on. So her other common card, Solar Energy Absorption. 6-cost as well. Well, they all start the same. Yeah. While you have an active Superman affiliated character besides Power Girl, and Power Girl is active, gain 2 life at the start of your turn.
Again, seems like an expensive way to gain life when there's things like pizza in the meta.
Yeah.
that allow you to gain life by spending an energy with a global ability. But I don't know if there was a pizza version available when World's Finest was out. I don't remember when Turtles came out.
Yeah, I don't know which one came out, yeah.
However, with that said, probably the best one so far.
Yeah.
Maybe the potentially unblockable one for a 5 cost is better. I don't know.
I mean, you just have to make sure you have a good team that's gonna pretty much go fast. Well, you don't even have to go fast as long as you get your opponent life to 0, because you're gonna keep gaining every turn if she stays there.
That's right.
So, and she's beefy, so if you're gonna take the damage, I don't know. But.
All right. Her last common from World's Finest is Heat Vision, and also a 6 cost bolt. And she says, while you have an active Superman affiliated character besides Power Girl, and Power Girl is active, at the start of your clear and draw step, deal 1 damage to all opposing character dice. So that is interesting.
At the start of your clear and draw steps, before you even draw your dice.
Yeah, that's really weird. I like it.
So you can like clear some stuff out of the field before you get going with your stuff.
Clear out a bunch of sidekicks, maybe, making things a little bit clearer, and then everything takes 1 damage, and then hopefully you roll enough stuff to push through for your opponent.
That's a better one. I like that one too.
That's interesting. I'd almost want to build with that.
Her Harley Quinn, she would have come in the team pack.
That was the weird team pack.
Yeah,
that came with like 3 basic actions, aka
like the one-off team pack.
Yeah, but the best one was Throne Brick.
Yes. This one's called Kara Zor-El. 5 cost. While Power Girl is active.
The wording is better.
If you control at least 1 active villain character at the end of your main step, roll an unpurchased basic action die. If it rolls an energy face, Power Girl cannot attack. If it rolls an action face, Power Girl gets +2A and +2D until end of turn. Return the unpurchased basic action die to its card.
So that's interesting. You're basically rolling the basic action die as a check, right? Is it rolling action or energy? It's like a 50% chance. If it rolls the action, you get the buff. If it rolls the energy, you can't even attack. So it's interesting because there was a lot of stuff in that Harley Quinn set that was a little bit random like that. Like some of the Harley Quinns and the Harley's Hyenas did all kinds of like crazy stuff. Like, you can look it up in the team builder, but there was some chaos stuff that happened there. And this is kind of like that. You've got a 50% chance of her being able to attack or not.
Yep. And it has to be an active villain character to even do this. So,
well, it's interesting because it says if you control at least 1 active villain character, there's nothing saying that you couldn't give her the villain affiliation.
True.
And then she would be active and you control the villain character. It doesn't say another villain character.
Yeah, because you just do it during your main step, because this happens at the end of your main step. So
yeah. So if you just gave her the villain affiliation with a global, because there's globals that do that, then you just need her active to do it. But then she might not be able to attack. So
yeah, it depends. It depends if you line it up properly. If you need her for that turn, that's when things could be interesting.
That's when it'll backfire on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And then the last one is Power Girl Kryptonian, 6 cost bolt. When fielded, gain 1 life for each opposing non-sidekick character die. I feel like
gain 1 life for each opposing non-sidekick. Wow, so you can gain a few here.
Well, I feel like if you have to buy a 6 cost to do that, you're probably dead.
Gain your life back.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like, it's a neat concept, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you've had to purchase the 6 cost, like, and how
desperate are you?
She's a 4/5/6 on her defense. Like, how are you cycling her at that point?
I know, because it's a when fielded, and then
right, like at that time we didn't have a Dark Phoenix global.
No, like the KO and get her out of the field, and yeah, I can't say any of her cards are like awesome.
Huntress is the better of the two, clearly.
Yes, Huntress.
Also, Huntress wears purple.
That's right. I feel
purple
like she could have
favorite color.
Probably gotten some better abilities. But then again, I don't know much Superman affiliated characters really have good abilities. But I feel she could have done a little better. But
yeah, I mean, she's okay. Like, if I had to pick one of them, I'd probably pick the Kara Zor-El from the Harley Quinn pack, because that could be interesting to try it out, even though I know it's going to fail anytime I actually need her to attack.
Yeah. Especially if you have something like Overcrush or Unblockable lined up, and you're relying on her.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on her, but then she's a 5 cost that you're not relying on. But her stats are good.
Hey, in a funsy format, try it.
Kim's going to build a funsy format around this. I can see it now.
Next Dice Social, build your card around.
Coming soon to a weekly dice arena near you.
Oh, make this work.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, but I like the story of these partners in crime, Kim.
Yeah, we should do some more partners in crime. Actually, there's not much females together partners in crime, actually.
Well, there's like Harley and Poison Ivy.
Yeah. Well, supposedly Power Girl and Harley is something of a story, I think.
Well, there's the whole Birds of Prey thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, all of the DC. We have to see if there's some in Marvel.
I looked. Unless my Google skills are pretty bad, everything is like a guy and a girl or a guy and a guy.
Well, there's a lot of men in comics, Kim.
Yeah. So, it's tough for female and female.
We'll keep looking.
Or maybe we gotta get some suggestions.
Absolutely. We are open to suggestions.
All the time.
And we'll tell you at the end of the episode where you can send us those suggestions. All right. So anything else, Kim, on Huntress and Power Girl?
No, I think that was fun. That was fun to do.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing all the research there.
No worries.
All right. So let's jump into the dice bag, which was a little bit lighter this week. But that's all right. It's the holiday season. People are busy and getting caught up later, I'm sure. But we did hear from Stuart through our Discord channel, and he said he caught up on the pod. Another great episode. Thanks, Stu. We appreciate that. He said, with regards to Kim's team, and I believe this is
the Mary Shazam.
Sorry,
Mary. That was bad.
The Mary Shazam episode. He liked the pairing of the rare Iceman from Dark Phoenix Saga with Mary Shazam. Then he used the Power Surge, which was suggested by someone, he apologizes but can't remember who, with the Bolt Pump Global as somewhere to dump the 2 bolts from Iceman. He said he got her up to 23 attack at one point.
That's crazy.
And he said the Arch Nemesis Global was a very good shout out. So that's really, really cool. So what does the rare Iceman from Dark Phoenix Saga do? Do we know?
Good question. I never actually looked it up, and I said I will, and then I get distracted like a squirrel.
Do it right now.
Right,
rare Iceman from Dark Phoenix Saga is Mr. Ice Guy. I love it. So he's a founder. He's a 4-cost bolt. X-Men affiliation. Surprise. Energize. Double target character dies printed A until the end of turn. So there you go. So that makes sense. So you double his printed A, or double a character die is printed A. So on her top side, Mary's a 6.
Yeah.
So you double it to a 12. So immediately she hits the 12. So she's got the overcrush and she can't be re-rolled or spun to a different face until end of turn. And then you spend those bolts on the Power Surge Global, which is target character dies +1 attack. And when you spend the bolt, she gets an extra, right, with Mary Shazam. Yep. So all of a sudden you spend 2 bolts and she becomes a, what are we at? 14? 12, 14, 16. Yeah. And then somehow he got her up to a 23.
So he must have spent some energy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even deal with that? I like it.
But you hope Iceman rolls energized. This is the thing, right? When you want them to roll the energized, they never do.
Well, he also has a while active ability. Your sidekick dice get +1 attack, so that's not so bad.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's a really cool team there, Stu. So awesome.
I might steal it, Stu. I'll try it.
Yeah,
out. See.
Absolutely. We also heard from our resident unnamed Dice Masters expert, who I will now name as Jackalope Spam. And he said a recent card that's caught his fancy is Moira's Uncommon. The common got hype as an anti-God catcher tool, and the rare as a cool as cool for loyalty counters. I think the uncommon's ability to prep specific dice from used has been underutilized. And I would agree with that. So I think all the Moira cards are cool, but that's the one that got the least love when we chatted about it before. Moira, if it's real, while Wolverine is active, Moira gets +1 defense. Okay, whatever. When fielded, your X-Men character dice get +1A until end of turn. Slightly better. And then when she's KO'd, prep a die from your use pile. And she's a 1/2/2 on her defense side. So very easy to KO, even if you don't have a Dark Phoenix Global or something like that. So yeah, I agree. That's one of those ones that's underutilized because the other two got more exciting. They were a little bit more rah because they had more of a meta use perhaps at the time. So
yeah, because everybody always reads like the first flavor text and they're like, but they never like get to the end.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, both of them had a little bit of anti-God Catcher tech, right? So the common was when an opponent fields the continuous action die, which would be a God Catcher die, re-roll it. If it lands on an action device, they may field it normally, otherwise send it to the use pile. And the rare has, when fielded, you may send target action die from your opponent's field zone to their use pile. So if the die is in the field and hasn't been triggered, then you can send it to the opponent's use pile. But then it gives them an opportunity to refield it again. But that's also in set synergy against like Living the Dream, right? Which is a continuous action. Now, there's a whole bunch of continuous action dice in the Dark Phoenix Saga set. There's like a whole slew of those.
How much is a slew?
A lot.
I'm gonna find the number while you continue.
How much is a slew?
How much is a slew? What is a slew?
A large number of, or quantity. That's what it says.
Wait, why can't I? Oh, there it is. Ready? Continuous. There are 5 continuous cards.
Yeah, that's a slew.
Well, basic action. All basic actions. Yep.
So anyway, so that was one that had caught Nick's eye, and yeah, I think you're right, Nick. I think that one's underutilized because X-Men is still a really good affiliation, particularly in Golden. If you start pulling out old cards, there's so many X-Men cards. Like, how many X-Men cards are there, Kim? Because I know you can check that while I'm vamping.
Like, okay, individual cards, all right?
Just the total number of cards. Don't worry about the like repeats. Like, there's 3 rarities or whatever.
320.
Yeah, 320 X-Men cards to choose from, people.
X-Men affiliated cards, yes.
Yep. So there are lots and lots and lots of them. So there's lots of things you could do. There's probably combos no one's ever even thought of with X-Men. Guaranteed. So yeah, and that was the dice bag, Kim. So do we want to jump over to coming events?
Yeah. So every week we play Weekly Dice Arena on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, you can check out the Discord channel, Weekly Dice Arena, for the format. What's coming up. And in January, Saturday, the 21st, is Breath Weapon X Fest 5.
Which we said correctly this time.
Yeah, which is a format is a affiliated format, but has to have 8 characters or less on your team. So you cannot have an X-Men affiliated team. So the cards, the characters cannot exceed 8. So it has to be an 8 less character card affiliated team. That make sense?
You're crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot out there actually. They did put out a list in the Discord channel. You can check it out of all the ones. It is quite of a list that has less than 8
The first
characters.
one that goes to my mind is Black Order.
Yep, that's I believe on the list. Yeah.
And the Hand. There's one of those.
Pineapple.
The Shi'ar.
There's a lot. I will be playing thus far. I've been looking, and I have 3 in mind.
Are you going to share?
No. Do I ever share my team?
Sometimes.
After we play.
Sometimes you play. Sometimes you share it before.
So I'm gonna put those 3 together. I don't want to say yet.
All right.
We still got time.
Secrets. Speaking of secrets, there is no word on when Secret Wars is going to arrive, but I don't think it's in December.
Yeah, well, that will be 8 days away from this time of the recording if it's going to drop.
No, it's not dropping in December.
I say February. February seems to be the month that they push product out.
So yeah, I guess we'll find out. Yeah. It'll get here when it gets here. So yeah, that's so it. Breath Weapon X-Fest 5 and Weekly Dice Arena and anything else, Kim?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, on that note, we would love to hear what you think of our Power Girl and Huntress background story. How much of it has been completely ruined by the, reincarnation of New 52 being completely discredited in whatever the new version is. Let us know. And what are your thoughts on the Huntress cards and the Power Girl cards? Have you ever played with any of them? Do you have a favorite? Is there one that you'd like to try after hearing us talk about it? We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So you can find us in a whole slew of places. You can start with our website, dm-north.com, where you can leave a comment on our episode post. You can also join our Discord channel, dmNorthTV. Discord link will be in the show notes. You can find us on all the social medias. That's including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Hive Social at dmNorthTV. We've got our YouTube channel, youtube.com/dmNorthTV, and our Twitch channel for live streams of Dice Masters and other board games at twitch.tv/dmNorthTV. You can send Kim or I an old-fashioned email at tripplepodcast@dm-north.com, and you can @ us on Discord. Kim is at SuperK, and I am at JoceStitch, JoCE Stitch. And all those are all the places you can find us. So until next time, on a double and dice.